Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 12th of November. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, we've been on a collapse upwards since the election last week, and the first sign of real weakness was yesterday, and I'm thinking we may well be topping out. We might do another high or possibly even two before we do that, but I think chances are we're seeing a decent retracement. Now, I've been saying for weeks that I was expecting to see November and December be bullish months, but I wasn't expecting to see a collapse upwards. I think that is just a temporary thing. We should see a decent setup with retracements and then new advances and so on and so forth. And I think we might be coming up to the first retracement here. We're still on a 60-minute sell signal on ES. We're still on one on NQ, and I've got a nice looking little head and shoulders here, which is very nice. May not play out, but if it does, it would take us back into the weekly pivot area at 28.36. On RTY, we had a we had a full sell signal actually. That's now reached the possible near miss target. And on YM, we got a weak 60-minute sell signal, which is trying to become a full-sized one, but hasn't quite made it low enough yet. In terms of topping patterns here, we've just got the NQ one at the moment. On DAX, we've been seeing a pause. On ESTX, we've been seeing a pause too, although actually ESTX really hasn't got off the bottom for the last few weeks. This still looks kind of like a bear bull flag, which is worrying me slightly, but I'm not sure it is. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, looking at right on ES, we had a weak buy signal at the low here. We've moved up. We haven't got any negative divergence here. We are hitting a trend line here, and we are slightly through it. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not thinking that's necessarily going to be resistance for long. SPY looks pretty much exactly the same. No negative divergence on the RSI 14. We've got a weak RSI 5 sell signal on the hourly chart, and we're slightly through the resistance there. Where do I think real resistance is? Well, I've got this trend line here, which we haven't quite hit, and I've got that up in about 60-50 area, but the main trend line here is this one here, which I've got in the, I think that's about 61.20, 61.30. This is the possible resistance trend line that I was talking about basically in March, I think, and we're getting pretty close to it now. Was it March? Might have been later, but it's been on the charts for a while, and this is where I would expect to see trendline resistance if we are going to find it, and this would be basically my Christmas target. All right, let's have a look at the 45 DMA. We reached about 4.54% against the 45 DMA. Definitely time to be looking for some retracement, not necessarily a reversion to the mean, which would be back at 57.63. I think that's probably out of reach at the moment, but I think we'll be seeing a reversion to the mean in all probability before Christmas. All right, looking at the Qs, we haven't got any pattern on this plunge upwards because it hasn't really had any retracements. When we start getting retracements, we'll start forming a pattern. Does this mean that we're nowhere near a high in all probability? Yes. That is pretty much what it means. So I'd be astonished to find the high before Christmas being made here. I'm expecting higher. On the 15-minute chart, we had an RSI 14 sell signal, and that has now pretty much made target. On the hourly chart, we test that high, and we can get some nice hourly divergence break. On Dia, again, looking pretty overbought on the daily charts. No current divergence apart from an RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the hourly, but no divergence on the RSI 14. Again, if we see a retest of that high, that could set up some decent negative divergence. On the 15-minute chart, again, no pattern. None of these really have a pattern because we haven't really seen any retracements so far, and I'm expecting to see one. Do we see one here? Well, we'll see. IWM looks pretty promising. No divergence on the daily, but that is a lovely possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing on the hourly chart. We've got an RSI 5 sell signal brewing as well. We've gone through the obvious trendline resistance, which isn't particularly a surprise. Do we have a pattern here? No, because we still haven't had a meaningful retracement. We've got some meaningful divergence, but no meaningful retracements yet. I'm thinking we're going to see one time this week. It need not be today. All right, let's move on to the dollar. Okay, dollar, we've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. Double top here, but I'm not really leaning towards this being a double top. But I am thinking we may well see some retracement here, and we've got some matching retracement on the euro and a couple of others. ZB, we've got the weak 60-minute sell signal has reached target. Didn't actually go down much, and this may well be a short-term bull flag forming. I'm leaning towards seeing more upside on ZB. And in the short term. CL, we're seeing a bit of a rally, weak 60-minute buy signal fix. We've still got a target down here in a retest of the 66.65 low. And I'm still expecting to see that after this rally. NG, we had a nice move up yesterday. Could this be a bear flag forming from the low? Yes, it could. No current negative divergence. And no really obvious trend line at the top. I had a look at this yesterday, and it's it's not well defined if it has an anchor. But this could be a bear flag. Bigger picture, we are in the seasonal area where we see a rise, and within a couple of weeks we'll be rolling into the January contract, I would have thought, and that will have our last big roll of the winter, which will be 30 cents rise. After that, it's a slide down into April. So I'm still wondering whether we'll see a retest of 1.52 when we get to April. GC, 60-minute buy signal is fixed. Looks like it needs a rally. Silver, we've got one too. HG, this is not looking promising. I was thinking they had this lovely bear flag here. We'd retest the low, possible level bottom. That's not the way it's going. We're heading down at the moment, and we've got no positive divergence at the moment. All right, let's have a look at KC. KC, holding the monthly pivot as support, leaning towards seeing a retest of 262.50 next, and may well go significantly higher. I've got a big support trend line on the daily chart, which is holding. So we may well see this high retested at 272.50 and higher. SB, this is no longer looking like a triangle, but it's still looking like a flag, leaning towards this being a bullish consolidation, which is really what it looks like. Start lasting month and a half so far. So this looks like a flag. Sooner or later, this should break up into a retest of this high here in the 2360 area. Looking at CC, we went through the 60-minute sell signal, which I think has failed, or at least will have done when we get to the in 7 minutes. And we retested this high, and we have gone higher, which is as expected. I'm expecting to see more upside here. ZW, seeing a bit of a rally off the low. Been disappointing to see how little this has done as the other grains have been going up. Corn, nice move here. I've got a possible trend line here, which I'm watching. That's slightly beyond the retest of this high here at 435, which we have seen. But I've got the resistance up here in the 438 area if we're going to hit it. We've got a weak 60-minute sell signal fix that has not made target yet. Looking at soy, we've got a double bottom which has broken up. We've seen a sharp retracement, and then I'm expecting this to go off and make these targets in the 105.6 to 105.8 area. Looking at cotton, nice looking double bottom here, still showing no signs of breaking up. Lumber, another possible little double top here. We're still on a 60-minute sell signal. It's still not going down. Live cattle is down below the weekly pivot. Could we be heading towards this double top target? Yeah, we could. Minimum target 181.875. No positive divergence at the moment. Lean hogs may be recovering back up. We're holding the monthly pivot, more or less. So I'm wondering about a retest this high here at 85. Okay, let's have a look at questions, and let's have a look at ES again. Okay, we are seeing some signs of weakness here. I mean, yesterday was a holiday, admittedly, but holidays do tend to lean bullish, and we did not get a bullish day. We've got increasing negative divergence, and I'm not expecting this to collapse upwards into Christmas. We're going to see retracements. We're going to see pushes forward. I am expecting this to last pretty much into into Christmas. And one reason for that is crypto. We're clearly in a new wave up on that. Those tend to last a few weeks. And we are only a week into it. I'm expecting to see more, and I'm expecting to see more on equities too. But when we see a retracement, we should get retracements and buy opportunities on the way back up. And I think the first one of those might be close. Might need some high retests first. Might not be today, but I think it's coming soon. And that'll be good news for me, because without retracements, there are no trend lines. Or at least not meaningful ones. So as soon as we start getting retracements, we'll start forming a pattern. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. My pleasure as always, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.